guys, welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make kombucha. What you're mostly going to need is you are going to need your party entertainer. You're also going to need kombucha. It needs to be organic, loose leaf tea. We have both green and black, or if you get the collection, it will have both in them. I am doing the black-based kombucha tonight. And on the back, the instructions are going to tell you how to do this first step completely. Now on the instructions it says you're going to use 6 teaspoons of tea. I use 2 pot-sized scoops. And I use the sweet tea pitcher every single time I make kombucha because it makes it so easy. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need 1 cup of starter kombucha fluid. That is a plain kombucha that you've either used before if you're making continuous kombucha, or if you're going to do store-bought, then just buy a plain non-flavored. You're also going to need 1 cup of sugar. You want it to be organic. And then you're going to need a SCOBY. SCOBY, can you see that? I know it's so bright. There you go. SCOBY stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. You will also need plain water and then a cloth, or if you get the kombucha, our cover. Now the first thing you want to do when you get your kombucha kit is take the lid off of your party entertainer, because when you're brewing kombucha, you are working with live bacteria and yeast. That is what's going to give probiotics to your kombucha, and you want it to be able to breathe, which means you're going to cover this with cloth, but you are not going to seal it shut. You need that oxygen. Now in the second fermentation, that's when we flavor it. That's when we do airtight seals, and that's what gives us carbonation. So kombucha is fermented tea. And it's similar if you want to think of yogurt with probiotics, or if you've heard of kefir or sauerkraut, or even sourdough bread. You basically are taking living bacteria and yeast, and you're putting that in your sweet tea. This is going to eat up the sugar in the tea, and while it's eating up that sugar, it's making enzymes and probiotics. Those probiotics we know are incredibly healthy for your gut, to give you good gut health and help to repair damage that happens on the cellular level in your gut, and to basically give you homeostasis. So you can make it yourself, flavor it the way that you want, know everything you're putting in it, and it's going to save you way more money. So I already got started. I put 2 pot-sized scoops of the kombucha black base and some hot water in my party pitcher, and I let that sit for 10 minutes. So at the end of that, you want to pull out your infuser. And I'm just going to let this sit to the side. So go ahead and pull your infuser out, and in fact, you can even pull out this top piece, which I usually do when I'm cleaning. So I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to put a full cup of organic sugar right in. You can do this even before and just let the sugar be in there when you're steeping with your water and your tea. But I did it this way just so you can see all the steps. So this is going to be a very sweet tea. You are not going to be drinking all that sugar, so don't worry about that. That's going to feed the SCOBY. So I'm just going to stir it until it's nice and dissolved. Okay, we're almost there. So now, I'm going to go ahead and pour this directly into my party entertainer. So really, with kombucha has 2 steps. You've got the first fermentation, which is what we're doing now. This is going to take about a week, sometimes up to 10 days, depending on how kind of tart you like it. And then the second fermentation is when you flavor it and you get the carbonation. So that is in. You do not want to put your SCOBY right into this. It is too hot and it will kill it. But I have 2 quarts of cool water. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, or most of it in. And then clean hands, always clean hands. Drop that off the table. See, now it's just slightly warm. So now it's slightly warm, I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 cup of starter fluid. That is just already made kombucha. That's going to speed up the process of fermentation. And then I'm just going to put my little SCOBY friend right in here. And it might float, it might sink, it can do whatever it wants, but that's all you have to do. So now I'm going to cover this up. So I've got air circulation because I did not put an airtight seal on it. I'm going to cover this up and put it in my pantry or a cupboard and leave it alone. And in the next, about day 5, day 6, you want to taste it. And you can use this little handy gadget right down here in order to taste it from the spout. Put a little cup under there. And if it tastes sweet, it needs more time. If it's starting to taste a little bit tangy, that's about right. It needs to be something that you are like, this is pretty good, I could even drink it without flavoring. When you get to that point and it's a little bit tangy, that's when you're going to start the second fermentation. And I will show you that on the next video. In the winter time, this takes me about 10 days. In the summertime, it takes me about 6 days because when your home is warmer, this is going to ferment faster. When it's colder, it's going to take longer. So do it to taste, but if it's sweet, it's not quite ready, and you won't get as much carbonation with the next fermentation. Okay, that is it for step 1. Let me know if you have questions. Bye.